Friedrich Nietzsche once suggested that human beings have a peculiar flaw. We take for granted whatever is too present, too accessible, too easy. In his philosophy, he warned of the danger of overexposure, the idea that when something or someone is always available, its value begins to decay. It is not absence that breeds contempt. No, it is abundance, the constant, the familiar, the overly present. That is what we quietly learn to ignore. But let me ask you this. Why is it that the people who give us everything we want are the ones we grow tired of the fastest? Why do we crave the elusive yet dismiss the loyal? Why is it that distance creates desire, while closeness, when given too freely, creates disregard? Nietzsche believed it is the rare, the scarce, the difficult that awakens our awe. The everyday, the constant, the available, it becomes invisible, forgotten. This is not just philosophy. It's the hidden law of human behavior, a law that shapes our friendships, our romances, our careers, and even the way society itself assigns worth. In this video, we unravel a chilling truth, how your constant presence may be the very reason you are dismissed, disrespected, or forgotten. This is the psychology of overexposure. This is availability leads to disrespect. In every interaction, every relationship, and every fleeting encounter, there lies an invisible law. A law so subtle, most never notice it, yet so powerful, it determines the rise and fall of admiration, respect, and desire. Friedrich Nietzsche hinted at it more than a century ago. He warned us, that which is always within reach quickly loses its value. Nietzsche understood something unsettling about the human mind. He believed that constant exposure erodes significance. When a person, an idea, or even a luxury becomes too familiar, too available, it ceases to command awe. Like a painting once adored, now gathering dust in a hallway, its brilliance no longer strikes you. Overexposure, Nietzsche warned, is the death of reverence. Modern life has proven him right. In a world of infinite access, we have dulled ourselves into indifference. The extraordinary is now ordinary, and in relationships, friendships, romances, even families, this truth carries dangerous consequences. Why does constant presence drain appreciation? The answer lies in human psychology. Our minds are wired to seek contrast, to notice what stands out, what is rare, what disrupts the ordinary rhythm of life. But when someone is always there, always available, their presence blends into the background. They become invisible. Even love, perhaps the most powerful force we know, is not immune. The lover who never withdraws, who never creates distance, becomes taken for granted. Respect fades, desire evaporates, and what once felt irreplaceable begins to feel disposable. This hidden law of human behavior has toppled relationships, destroyed careers, and rewritten the fate of empires. If availability leads to disrespect, then what is the antidote? What must we withhold, and when must we disappear in order to be valued? You and I both know this truth, though we rarely say it out loud. The things we see every day lose their shine. What is rare is valued, and what is common is ignored. Our minds are addicted to contrast, to the thrill of the unexpected. A sunrise happens each morning, and yet, how often do you stop to marvel at it? But if a shooting star flashes across the night sky just once, you gasp, you remember, you tell the story for years. The same law governs people. Think about it. The loyal friend who always answers the phone, always shows up, is often taken for granted. Meanwhile, the one who keeps their distance, who appears only on occasion, strangely holds more weight in your mind. Their absence makes them magnetic. Their rarity makes them precious. Nietzsche saw this clearly. He warned that constant presence dulls appreciation. When someone or something is always within reach, it ceases to strike us with force. Overexposure is the death of reverence. And look around today. Haven't we proven him right? We scroll past beauty, past wisdom, past talent, because it is all too available. The extraordinary has become ordinary. The rare has been swallowed by abundance. Even love, especially love, obeys this law. The partner who never withdraws, who never allows space, begins to fade into the background of the mind. Respect diminishes. Desire weakens. What once felt irreplaceable begins to feel disposable. This is the hidden law of human behavior. It has ended friendships, silenced admiration, collapsed empires, and rewritten the fate of hearts. If availability leads to disrespect, then ask yourself this: when should you step back? And how much must you withhold in order to be truly valued? Think about your own mind for a moment. You don't crave sameness, you crave novelty. Your brain is wired for what's new, what surprises you, what breaks the pattern. Constancy bores you, even if you don't want to admit it. And that boredom is the silent assassin of value. Psychologists call it the familiarity effect. The more often you see something, the less it excites you. The song that once gave you chills becomes background noise after the 10th replay. The joke that made you laugh loses its punch when repeated too often. The same law applies to people. When someone is always available, always within arm's reach, their presence stops feeling special. And in relationships, this law cuts deep. The affection you once burned for begins to cool when there is no space, no distance, no anticipation. When someone is always there, their presence ceases to feel like a gift. It becomes an expectation. And expectations, as you know, rarely inspire gratitude. Now consider power dynamics. If you say yes every single time, your yes loses its meaning. If you agree to every request, show up at every call, bend to every demand, your agreement becomes worthless. What was once an act of choice now feels like compliance, and compliance earns no respect. The truth is unsettling. Your value in the eyes of others is not only shaped by what you give, but by what you withhold. You felt it before, the magnetic pull of something rare. Nietzsche believed that greatness itself is tied to rarity, that to be valued, one must not always be within reach. Scarcity creates desire. Scarcity creates respect. And those who understand this rule can shape how others see them. History is full of examples. The most revered leaders were not those who made themselves endlessly available, but those who chose their moments with precision. They withdrew, creating silence, and then reappeared with impact. Their absence built anticipation. Their presence commanded attention. Think of generals, thinkers, even prophets. Their rarity was not a weakness, it was their power. Artists, too, have always known this law. The painter who released only a handful of works left the world hungry for more, their creations treated like treasures. But the artist who mass-produced their craft, who flooded the world with abundance, watched their value dissolve. It is not just what they created, but how sparingly they offered it, that forged reverence. Centuries later, Robert Greene echoed this same principle in the 48 Laws of Power. In Law 16, he warns, use absence to increase respect. Presence may build familiarity, But absence creates weight. It is the empty space, the pause, the waiting that multiplies desire. And now I ask you directly, in your own life, are you flooding others with your presence, or are you leaving just enough distance to be missed, to be remembered, to be valued?